Hi, what's up guys? So for today's video, I do want to talk about what makes growing up with music to people, because some people like argue being like, oh, you're not born in that decade, how the fuck you know that music, or you weren't born at that time, which could be true. For many people, they probably been around people from that decade or those times that played those music. Like, for example, for me, I have parents that grew up in the 80s and they listen to 80s pop music. That's where I got my taste from. Or that's where I got my music influence from. And then another example is I also have siblings that grew up a little bit in the 90s with the 2000s, as long as me, because I also grew up in the 2000s. But for me, for example, for music, you could see the soft cell right there. I don't know if you could see, it's barely there. But the music I heard growing up was Tainted Love and Where Did Our Love Go, which is the big pop music from the 80s that did blow up, but didn't blow up in America till like a little bit after. But when that single came out, or those two singles came out, it did blow up in the UK and definitely made Soft Cell a well-known band. And then another band that I do want to note that I also do like is Aha. Everybody knows Take On Me. This is the album that Take On Me is from. Again, both singles, Take On Me and Tainted Love, were the two singles I heard everywhere, whether it's either from my family, from playing in the radio, or just in movies, they've just been playing it. And also Hello Goodbye, that's also from Soft Cell. I remember hearing it in Napoleon Dynamite, and I have seen Napoleon Dynamite growing up. But yeah, the two albums from that I have over here, from Aha and from Soft Cell, both albums I do love to this day, and I do think they're really iconic to just music in general. But yeah, they are, I would say they're the part of music that I got into before actually diving into more 80s music. And then another, well, I would say like the decade that I actually did grow up with, not the exact same time when these albums came out, but like during the times around that time when I was little, hearing the radio with my siblings. Well, first is American Idiot, Green Day, American Idiot. I've heard it on the radio a lot of times when I was growing up. I was born probably a little before or after American Idiot, but I wasn't there when it happened. I think I was born like a year or two before. But definitely like this album is one of my favorites. Heard it a lot, then heard like the context of this album. Loved it no matter what. It was amazing. And I think I did hear this because I think this came out like mid 2000s, a little bit early 2000s. All American Rejects. Heard it everywhere. Whether it's movies, shows, radio, it was one of the biggest pop punk bands that just kind of came just everywhere in the early 2000s. And the Dirty Little Secrets is probably the biggest song that everybody heard, that and Move Along. But I do think this album is actually pretty interesting. And I think people should go in and look at that album. But yeah, I think in general, people shouldn't judge history on music and what they experience, because yeah, these people may not be from or born those decades, but they have heard those musics from those decades. It's not like they didn't grow up with them. It's just they weren't in that time period when it happened. But what I want to say before to end off this video is listen to any music you like, any genre, doesn't matter. It could be country, rap, R&B to hip hop, anything like that. It could also be alternative music. But yeah, just listen to music. Don't listen to what people say that it's just negative. If you like it, listen to the music. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video. I will be doing more videos soon. And yeah, until next time, bye guys.